John, you want to bring it? I feel like I always bring us in. Show 14.
Show 14 here at the wonderful Borders Books on 801 North Rotary Boulevard.
That's on site, John.
That's on
I mean,
site where we're
we're
at.
on our 14th show, and you
We
still
are.
can't get the address right.
Still can't get it right. We are very professional, though. You can
Oh,
trust us.
extremely.
You know. Callie, it's
100%.
It's beautiful out. We had a heat wave all summer, and today decided to be cool. Came up from Center City, Philadelphia, and it was just smooth sailing the whole way up. And we took the train out and took the turnpike, and it was fine. I can feel it in my blood. Tonight's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show 14. And you know why?
Why is that?
Because we have a whole wonderful array of guests lined up for us tonight.
Would you care to list them?
Maybe I would. Our first guest tonight would be Peter Stinson, a part of Operation Homefront, and Dan, our current events and sports correspondent, will be interviewing him.
That's right, we're going to be talking politics with Dan. And we have director and screenwriter from The Pendant, psychological thriller. I'm very excited for this interview.
That's correct. They've been filming it for about 5 months. It's the first feature-length film from Team Spontaneous Productions. We're going to have Jason Mayer and Devin Labascio here.
It's going to be a great night.
I know it's going to be a good night.
Unfortunately, Melissa and Veronica are out on vacation this week, but be sure to tune in for them next week and check us out at www.transitionsradio.com and check us out on our new Twitter account. It's TransitionsR. No space, because Twitter doesn't allow you to have spaces, but please follow us. I tweeted our first tweet today. Can I say that?
Yeah. I think we settled what exactly tweet and Twitter and all those things mean. Pay attention for Janine as well.
At the end, you got to get your bar line up so you can get out there and get drunk. I mean, get out there and meet people.
And tip the bartender well.
Tip the bartender well, and she'll have a great interview coming for us from the Renaissance Fair.
That's correct. She'll be interviewing Hope Wright, the Renaissance Fair actress, who's going to play Leona da Vinci. Something to that effect. But we can look forward to that. I guess we'll go right to Dan Schmidt with Peter Stinson talking about Operation Homefront. Dan, take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, our show is called Transitions, as of show 14. I hope our listeners are aware. And we like to focus on people dealing with new situations in their lives. And one group we like to focus on in this segment is our military men and women who are returning from what's often been 4 or more years of service and adjusting back to civilian life. Well, one nonprofit group that is helping them with that transition is Operation Homefront. And here with us today is Pete Stinson, a transitions veteran himself, who was a guest for our Joe Sestak Pat Toomey segment back in show 2. Check it out on the website. Pete is currently working for the Pennsylvania and Delaware chapter of Operation Homefront. Pete, thanks for joining us again today.
Thank you again for having me.
All right, well, first of all, tell us about Operation Homefront, how it works, and what you do for it.
Operation Homefront is a group that provides emergency financial assistance as well as morale programs to our troops, those that are returning from Iraq and Afghanistan.
Okay, and then what do you do for the organization?
I am chapter president for Pennsylvania and Delaware. There are 30 chapters in the organization, as well as a national organization that's out of San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, now you were not involved with Operation Homefront when we last spoke. How did you transition into this position?
I transitioned into this position by getting familiar with the organization. My previous job, I was able to take care of their insurance policy and was able to get really familiar with the organization and hear about all the great things that they do for our guys that are returning from combat. So it really was a great choice, and I'm really thrilled to be working for Operation Homefront now, especially our chapter right here in Pennsylvania and Delaware.
I know you mentioned the national office. How does the hierarchy of the organization work? How do the individual chapters report to the main office?
Very similar to other nonprofit groups, there's a board of directors that controls our chapter. Currently there's 7 board members in Pennsylvania and Delaware. All of them are volunteers from all walks of life, different careers, and different locations throughout our chapter as well, to represent Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Harrisburg. And the national organization coordinates with them and will pay certain cases, whereas our chapter will also pay other cases that do not qualify for national assistance. We don't want to leave any active duty guys or guys that just got back hanging in emergency financial situations.
How can you tell who's really needs the help and who's just looking for a handout?
It definitely, there is some of that goes into it. Some people do take advantage of the system, but I'd say that the majority do not. You can generally look through all the paperwork. You have to get a lot of documentation in place. just for verification reasons, including identification, any bills that they're behind on, to verify their situation. So that's usually a pretty good way to tell. Certainly there's always the one that can get away with it, but in the majority of people really do need our help, and that's what we're there for.
All right, now you yourself don't have a military background. Do service people ever question your credentials for the job?
No, nobody's actually ever asked me about it. I guess growing up, we had a lot of groups, a lot of our friends in our group that went away, different arenas. We had a bunch that went to the Marines, a couple Army Rangers in there, and still some current National Guardsmen. So we definitely can empathize with their situation. I'd like to think that my sales background sets me up for a good position here to raise a lot of funds so we can help out more guys that way.
We have Jason Mayer and Devin Labascio from The Pendant here. The director and screenwriter, Jason and Devin, bring you The Pendant. You ready for this?
A psychological thriller about Mary Phelps, played by Christy Richmond, a tax assessor, which is signed to evaluate property of a hotel that has become delinquent on paying their taxes. When the hotel owner is unavailable at the time of her arrival, she is forced to spend the night at the hotel. Amidst dealing with personal issues with ex-boyfriend, played by Mike Marino, and the strange occurrences throughout the night, she is forced to find her inner self.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the two gentlemen, Jason Mayer and Devin Labascio, the director and screenwriter from The Pendant.
Can I get a copy of just that? I'm gonna remake a trailer of just that.
Yes, actually, John is working on unleashing a CD with that voice to sort
Really?
of
To
put
every
people to
movie?
sleep at night. It's one of those you can flip through.
I would not want to fall
He
asleep
reads
to that.
different movie scripts. I always fall asleep to the script reading of Shrek. It's my favorite one.
I'm currently doing an audiobook of recipes as well. You know, so funnel cake.
A pinch of cumin. And
We're really glad to have the director and the screenwriter, Jason and Devin. I want you to introduce yourselves and tell exactly what your role is and what exactly you did with The Pendant. How you played the creation of The Pendant.
You can go first.
Alright, thanks. Well, of course I'm Devin Labascio, and I was, I co-wrote it with Jason, and I was the producer of the film as well.
I'm Jason Mayer, and I directed it, and co-wrote and co-produced.
What exactly does the director and screenwriter do? Describe what those technical roles are.
Well, the writer writes what, the actor needs to know, and the director directs the actor what they need to do.
Thanks. It's all clear now.
I understand how movies are made.
It's not that simple. If only it was.
So what John and I really want to know is what generated the idea for The Pendant? Some secretive hatred of tax assessors, an issue with the cleaning staff during a recent hotel stay, or even a self-existential nagging of the meaning of life when attempting to find yourself while running around a hotel from a killer and dealing with relationship issues. Any of those three ring a bell?
Well,
Definitely don't hate taxes.
relationship issues, sure, but no. The whole thing of just a movie in a hotel is always just fun. Like, you got The Shining, and which was fun, but it's nothing like The Shining, just besides the setting of it. But the whole hotel thing I always liked, but if you really want to get into detail, it's all you.
Yeah, he called me one night and he was saying, man, you think you come up with an idea that takes place in a hotel? And I was like, yeah, I can try. And then it took me about 45 minutes to come up with the basis of this. I knew I wanted to do a psychological thriller, and like I said, I came up with it really fast, and then we had it written in about 3 weeks, and then about a little less than a month after that, we started shooting.
Yeah.
But there was nothing really that made me want to write about a tax assessor or anything. A lot of background of other movies kind of gave me the basis of this one. So.
It was mainly just there's just so many twists in the movies though.
Yeah.
In the movie itself, so I don't know, can't give anything away because of I don't know, I can't. Yeah, just take it as is with the tax assessor.
Yeah.
It's interesting that this whole movie really came though from Jason, you just being like, I want a movie in a hotel.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was the basis of the whole storyline,
Mhm.
which is an interesting way to write. I mean, I guess everyone has their different go-tos when they're going to write a story.
Yeah, hotels, tax assessors.
John grabs his crayons.
I do. Beige is my favorite color. I know how to pronounce it in French as well. Because it's written on the crayon. So give us a rundown of the movie. The main character, Mary Phelps, kind of conflicting with her boyfriend, played by Mike Marino. Mary Phelps is played by the actress, Christy Richmond. So she goes to a hotel as the tax assessor and find out the hotel manager is not there that night. And was she meant to meet the hotel manager? And
Yeah.
what kind of happens after that?
A whole lot of a whole lot of stuff happens after that. She just starts finding all like this crazy, like right when she walks in the door of the hotel, like there's just the weird front desk person, just so creepy like. And then she starts hearing noises in the hotel, and then starts like seeing things in the hotel. So it's just one thing after another. Like I'm not gonna lie, the first like 25 minutes of the movie is just a big giant build up for the rest of the movie. And so like it doesn't really necessarily drag on, but like it just like has like, you know, you need your facts before you know the rest of the movie. And like everyone that's seen it so far has just been like, you know, like the dialogue scenes, just you need to know these parts before you go into the rest. So before everything crazy starts happening.
What about the actors and the actresses when they are, you know, what kind of director? And I guess this is sort of a blunt question, but what kind of director are you? Are you sort of really like on point? You need to be doing this, or do they explore their roles a little bit? You know, how strict do they need to stay to the script?
I'm pretty laid back as a director, really. You know, I'm not very. I don't know if I say the word. I'm not very, you know, uptight about
You can say that word. It's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Uptight? Yeah,
No, I'm thinking of the other word. I was thinking of. I don't know if you can curse. Well, obviously not. But.
Well, you're allowed to say uptight.
All right, uptight. I'm not very uptight because, like, you know, like it doesn't just take one person to make a movie. It takes everybody to make a movie. You know, so like whenever the actor is like, "Well, can I ad-lib this part?" I'm like, "Yeah, go for it. As long as it sounds right, I'll do one ad-libbing and one with the script." And then, wow, I just had really bad deja vu. I'm sorry. Wow.
You've been on transitions before? I didn't know that.
Turning into a thriller movie itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason,
The health and medicine section.
you certainly have some directing chops, making music videos for Fall Out Boy, The Moxie, which is on Bam Margera's music label.
Yeah.
Your videos have been featured on Logo MTV and VH1 Morning. Devin has some business chops going on and works with the producing and fundraising for The Pendant as well. How do you work with these actors who have kind of, you know, somewhat, I don't want to say made it, but, you know, they do have some acclaim to them. Christy Richmond, who plays Mary Phelps, was in Bollywood. She studies method acting, and this is her first lead role in The Pendant. Justin Clark, the actor who played her boyfriend, is that correct? Or that was Mike Marino?
I don't want to say who he plays in the movie because then it's just like,
So we gotta keep that secret.
And he's been in The American Gangster and The Last Airbender.
Yeah, he's had small part. He's actually like one of my close friends. Like I've
Okay.
known him since, I don't know, I think I was like 7. So
We've also got Bernadette D. Simone, actress who was on American Idol season 9 with her sister Amanda, and they made numerous appearances. Do you find any trouble working with any kind of these actors that maybe have been a part of other productions and maybe see your directing style different?
So I honestly, like, for the Pendant especially, since there was very low money involved, that like it's just like we have to get it done correctly with no money. So like that's what, like I'm pretty laid back, Devin's pretty laid back, so it's just like deliver and I'll make it look good, I promise.